जॉनी जॉनी तूने पी है कोको
I used to live in a small studio apartment in Chicago when I finished college. It was not fancy, just a single-room space on the top floor of a 3-story building. I chose it because rent was cheap and it was close to work. And as a 23-year-old with student loans and no savings, I didn't have the luxury of being picky. The apartment was clean, functional, and most importantly, mine. The only window in the place looked out over a narrow alley. Across the way was another apartment building, nearly identical to mine. The alley was tight, barely wide enough for a single car to squeeze through, and during the day it barely got any sunlight. At night, it was pitch black. That never really bothered me much. I was working late nights at the time, bartending at a lounge on the north side. I usually got home around 2:30 or 3 in the morning, then I'd make a quick meal and zone out on my phone until I passed out. One night, about a month into living there, I noticed something odd. I had just walked in, kicked off my shoes, and turned on the overhead light when I thought I saw something move in the window across the alley. Just a flicker. A curtain twitching, maybe. I froze for a second, but when I looked again, there was nothing. The window was dark and still. I shrugged it off. Maybe I startled someone, or maybe it was just a draft. The next night, it happened again. As soon as I turned on the lights, I saw the curtain shift in that same window. This time I was sure I saw it. A hand pulling the curtain back just slightly before letting it fall. I couldn't see the person behind it. The lights in the other apartment were off. It was just a sliver of movement in an otherwise black void. But the reason this really caught my attention was because I had never seen the lights on in that apartment. I always assumed that nobody had lived there. That night, I didn't sleep well. I kept thinking about that attic and the hand. Over the next week, I started paying closer attention. Every night without fail, the curtain would move within seconds of me turning on my lights. It was subtle but unmistakable. It was the same thing every time. There was a slow parting in the curtain, I had a glimpse of the dark space beyond it, and then the curtain would close again. I began testing it. Some nights I would leave my lights off and sit silently by the window. When I did, nothing happened. But the moment I turned them on, even just the dim light by my couch, the curtain across the alley would shift. Someone was watching.